What's going on, everybody? LK here, back at it again with another video with Lord ApologyMan. And today we're going to talk about the new character. I think she's been out for still a little under a week, JackO.
Hey guys, EE here. I'm really excited to bring on this new product from one of our great sponsors on Beastcoast, Sumo Forte. And with me in the chat, I actually have a couple homies who've actually tried this product out already, the Sumo Tape, which is really good for their gaming needs.
And they have this transdermal mentholated CBD tape.
I've actually been really looking forward to trying this out. Dude, it does feel good though. I'm not gonna lie.
So how are you feeling, bro? Honestly, this is one of the characters that, I'm not gonna lie, I have mixed opinions about Exerd, you guys know, but if we're talking about just purely characters, JackO, even though I understand in Strive that I knew before they even announced her, if they did, she would not be the same. The hate is still in my heart, bro. It's hard. It's hard to get it out, you know what I'm saying?
I totally feel you, bro. I even tweeted, if there's JackO added, that's a no bio. I literally tweeted that. I was so angry to see that she made it back, but I'm like, you know what? All the characters are pretty revamped from their previous iterations to fit the Strive engine, so I'll wait. She's still really annoying, but she's not nearly as obnoxious as she was in Exerd, where she put down the houses and made minions come out of it. So she has a much more kind of Venom-ish style where she hits the houses off of each other, and they have hitboxes as they come at you, and the minions have different actions that you can make them do. But she is quite strong from my experience. I just came back yesterday from my local tournament and I played a JackO player in grand finals, a 2 GB combo, and he's already so good with them. And that character is a menace, man. It's not in the conventional I guess Strive way where it's I guess people think of Soul or Bruiser characters Strike Throw. And they just do that to you and then do high damage off of that. She has decent damage, but she is it reminds me of old Guilty Gear. I'm getting just kind of set played through high lows, and she has a lot of plus frames that she gets from her minion sets, and you get chipped out so bad, man. When she gets going, it's so scary, because then she'll start the minion cheer super, the install super, and she'll just keep kicking the minions at you over and over and over again and chipping your health out. And there's no counterplay to it outside of YRC and burst. It feels I was can I FD this? And 2Gig told me, he's nah, it doesn't work. It doesn't actually make it any better. You might as well wait to get a YRC. Dude, it's so scary. You can't let her get started. Oh my god. But she's really good in my opinion right now.
Yeah, she's looking pretty good. She's looking definitely like a snowball type character. And honestly too, I'm glad I felt she was actually similar to Mei in Exerd, and I'm gonna explain myself. So one, I am definitely assuming that old JackO players are probably not happy with her in this version, because let's take our bias aside of it. She had a couple of ways she could win in Exerd, so you could kind of you didn't have to just play super. Oh, I'm just gonna throw the towers straight up. Some people played a mid-range game. Some people actually was really focused on her mix and her stick throw. There was a few things you could do with her to win. You didn't have to just focus on one thing. It's definitely a common theme in this game that the game is all right, this character, this is their super strong situation, and you really, really want that. And the reason why I say JackO is so much like Mei is because Mei had 3 ways she can win, 3 pretty distinctive playstyles that you can win with. And in this game, we all know she's a jump heavy dolphin machine, right? So some Mei players, if you're a Mei player who did that in Exerd, you're what's different? The same same shit, right? But if you're one of the people who relied on her dolphin cancels, or one of the people who tried to zone a lot with her, you're man,
right, yeah,
this guy, this only makes me do this, right? So the first thing is definitely if you're in that camp with JackO that you played her in the previous version, this version, you're man, this character, what did they do? I do actually understand you, and even though I dislike the character, I am mature enough to want you to be happy, even if JackO is really fucking obnoxious to play against, right? That's one. She does look very strong, despite that. And I think there's a combination of people who are in the Venom diaspora, where they're like, we don't have a character who are really appealing, who really like this character at a glance. But then also people who just generally like technical characters, because there's not a lot. Like there's Zato. Milia is like a weird one where like she, when a high level Milia player plays and you watch, you're like, dude, this guy doesn't do anything and he wins. And then when you start her, you're like, bro, like I can't do anything and I don't know how anything works. Like she kind of like tricks you. She's not like obviously technical. This is kind of what I mean. So she has that thing too for like the super lab monsters who like labbing stuff that aren't just combos. She's got that as well. I really think she could snowball out of control really fast.
Yeah.
But they took away her DP. I shouldn't even call it DP because even though it's invisible, it's a one button DP she used to have, and that move's gone, thank God. So like her defense not that great, like standardish type of defense. So like once you're on her, you can punch her to death or whatever your character does. But in her maybe you vary. She might have two, like because as you mentioned, the cheer super is really strong, but her normal just like I knock you down and mix you thing's pretty good too. Yeah. And she can kind of zone. So like honestly, like. So I've only played against Flux so far. I played against a couple of JackOs in the tower, but they didn't really have their game as together as Flux did so far. But I was like, man, like she kind of probably, there's a couple of ways you could run this game, which is also a really good look for the game, especially for people who are like, and it's true, by the way, I do agree with this, where like most characters, they do one thing to win, because they even said that's what they were kind of aiming for in this game. So JackO, from that perspective, I think is like pretty good.
No, yeah. I'm actually kind of excited for that and like future DLC characters as well. Like I think that's like a pretty good precedent that they're setting with JackO. She's pretty interesting in like how like how she wins, and like she's really technical, and she seems very fun to play. And that I, as much as I dislike JackO before, I can appreciate like her design in this one. But yeah, she doesn't have, I guess, like the best like defensive option. So she has a 6 frame, or sorry, no, she has a 5 frame.
5 frame, yeah.
But it doesn't hit crouchers. So that like her defense is like okay. She has like a invul super command grab that does a lot of damage if it
yeah,
if
but
she
super kind
lands
of
it.
sucks.
But
Like,
it's not.
It's not +0 after flash, so like you
can just jump it.
Yeah, you can jump it, you can DP. Her, to me, like probably her main like secret defense is that she's actually super small when she's crouching. I know it's gonna be like, memes, LOL, JackO challenge.
No, it's
JackO challenge.
bro.
Like she legitimately is really small when she crouches. So like if you're an Axel player, or if you have a lot of experience against Axel, you'll probably be pretty familiar with this. How Axel players will actually use his 2K as an anti-air just because of somehow he gets all the way down there. So JackO kind of has that too going for her, and her the buttons that she does like to press on defense are kind of big, despite them being not that fast.
2K2D, yeah.
2K2D and stuff like that.
Yeah, dude. Because she's doing her little JackO pose, when I put the afro on her as Faust, I actually can't instant overhead her. Like, there's only only other character that's the case for is Faust, because he crawls, right? And I always thought that was for like a balance reason, so that when Faust gets the afro himself, he doesn't get screwed as bad by like other characters. So I was like, all right, this will probably never be the case for any other character ever. And then JackO came out, and she's just putting her butt up, doing the JackO challenge. I can't instant overhead her. So sad. It's a really, really big strength to like be able to low profile. There's a lot of stuff she goes under, and that includes like when you kind of push them out into like other like mid-range spacings, and you're like kind of pressuring with like maybe some far slashes. There's a lot of far slashes she like kind of like can duck under too, with her like JackO crouch. But yeah, it's actually like quite annoying to deal with. I kind of was happy to like realize with Faust though I could like still kind of like far as 2H. Like I had like pretty good answers to her crouching compared to other characters. I know 2Gig was telling me like, damn, like normally most characters I can crouch under like a lot of these normals at like these ranges because of like how low she gets, but that's like a huge strength of hers. And so at least from my perspective, matchup wise, I think it's like if you can stop her from like getting the minions out and going, like you'll do fine. Faust like has like pretty large normals. I actually think it's like a pretty decent matchup. I can like cancel. You can actually cancel on the minion setups or on the minion sets. On like with like you like hit the minion with the normal, and you can like special cancel on it or even like jump cancel on it, and that's like really huge. So what I'll do is like I'll far slash like a minion, and I'll like scalpel pull cancel it to like stop her from setting up other minions.
Yeah.
So I think like I'm like slowly learning like some counterplay for her, but yeah, that's like going to be really, really big when playing versus her. If you want to stop her from like getting started, is just dealing with how she sets out the minions.
Yeah. So I guess the last thing I would say about her is just like of course this is very early, so we don't know. I'm not gonna really talk about character power, just like impressions of what her matchups probably feel like. So like, once again, fast characters smoked. So like, I played, of course, Milia. Milia, like she just doesn't have time to summon. She kind of has to flail a little bit to like just get a hit and then get the summons off that. Milia gets one more chance by bursting her off, and then like one more chance to like set that thing up. Chip, I would imagine same thing. Chip's faster than Milia, so so if you think Milia's tough, then like I got some bad news for you. There's another one like that. Then of course Axel, because again can't summon. JackO's air dash is like really linear and goes really far, and she can't act. It feels like she can't act as fast as other characters that have the same length air dash, but I could be tripping about that. I don't know why it feels that way, but when I was messing around with her, I was like, what, dude, what is this weird ass air dash? Then like good matches would be like, characters that can't move that much. I wouldn't say Potemkin necessarily because he does have flick, but I could imagine like a character like Gold Lewis struggling until he finally hits her and then touch of deaths her, or like even like a Soul type too, because he's not that fast. He's not as fast as he used to be. And then once stuff is on the screen, like he's got Vortex, but that thing's like mad punishable, and then so I think there's going to be a bunch of like mid-range characters that are like not that fast, but they have like big buns would kind of struggle against her, just kind of like peeling off all the time and stuff. The last question I have about her too is I don't know how fast she gets negative penalty, because I feel like she's at least at the beginning of the game kind of a defensive character. So being able, if the game is like don't run away to her the same way they say to like fast characters like Chip and Milia, that's kind of gonna suck.
Yeah, in my experience, I think she had. I don't know. I don't want to say any exact numbers, but I did. Know. Yeah, I don't want to say anything for sure, but I think I did see 2Gig get like negative penalty like here and there, or like danger at least, not negative penalty, but like he would get danger here and there. Fair amount just setting stuff up, but the way he said it was like it actually is mostly worth getting danger. Like getting negative penalty extra sucks because you lose all your meter, but like getting danger isn't that bad if you're getting out enough minions. So it's kind of worth it.
That's something to keep in mind in general if you're playing either defensive characters or like I wouldn't say necessarily Chip, because his backdash is like not fast. Really, it's like he's fast, not his backdash. But if you're playing like a character with fast backdash, or if you're playing a character that's defensive, like danger is not the real problem. Danger is just like, oh, you're gonna get negative. Negative is the actual thing. So like, if you gotta back up one more time and the game says danger, like it's alright. It's alright. Yeah.
It's the warning. So I hope you guys liked that video. Maybe write down your thoughts down below in the comments about JackO. Let us know what you think of her. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
JackO.